Happy Monday. I'm excited to get back into it again with you guys today. And this is a subject that I have talked about before, but it's one of those things that I think is really important for us to talk about again. And that is a little bit of self sabotage. So, for example, there have been situations many times where I have been given the opportunity to go for a ride. You know, let's say my husband gets done work early. He's like, hey, I can come in and watch the kids and you can go for a ride if you want. And immediately, for some strange reason, my brain goes to, yeah, but I needed to do this today, and I needed to do this today, and this today, and I didn't get those done yet, and I'm behind on this, and well, blah, 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 blah. I literally almost talk myself out of a ride. Um, and it's really important to pay attention to that when it happens, because I think a lot of us do that and we don't even necessarily realize it. It's been actually helpful. A couple times my husband has actually called me on that. And he's like, why are you trying to talk yourself out of it? Go for a ride. I know you want to. And it's kind of helps snap me back into reality where I'm like, yeah, I do want to ride. Why am I putting, some silly chore that can easily be done tomorrow ahead of, my mental and emotional health by actually going for a ride? So it's really important to slow down and actually think about that because it is a lot bigger, more often than not, than it's just, oh, well, you feel like you need to fold the laundry. Usually it always is going to come down to some sort of an emotion like perfectionism, feeling like, well, I need to get this done because I don't want a basket of, clean laundry laying there because it's really important for you to do it all in one day or all in the same week, or you had it written down, you want to do it, or, right? Like there's going to be some reason why you feel the laundry needs to be done right now, and that's why it's so important to really kind of sit and just process that, process, okay, why is this so important? You know, am I just using it as an excuse? Am I letting my, my need to be perfect or to strive to be perfect, am I letting that ruin this moment for me? Is it my fear of judgment, of being judged? Do I think my husband's actually going to care if there is a basket of clean laundry on the bedroom floor? If I actually think that, if I actually feel like he's going to be upset with me, then I need to say something, right? Then I need to be like, hey, hon, I know this is like a little ridiculous, but for some reason, I have it in my head that you will get annoyed if I leave and go for a ride when I've got this basket of clean laundry here. And I just need you to tell me that it's not going to bother you. And I'm going to almost guarantee and say, and your partner is going to be like, yeah, hun, that's no big deal. Go for a ride, right? But it's really important to actually sit there and recognize it so that you can start to heal from that. Because if you always have this feel of needing to be perfect, or someone's going to judge you, or your mother-in-law is coming over in 3 hours for a coffee, and so you were wanting to clean for 3 hours, but so that's why you're not going to go ride instead. Well, then you're dealing with the whole scenario of, so you're putting yourself under unnecessary stress because you're worried about what your mother-in-law is going to think of your house. So you're not going to ride and you're going to clean like a madwoman to impress your mother-in-law. Now, I'm not going to go into family counseling here, but more often than not, if you have a half decent relationship with your mother in law, you can actually voice this to her and be like, I don't know why I feel this, but I always feel like I gotta have a perfectly clean house before you come over. Like, I know that's kind of crazy, but I guess I'm just looking for maybe a little bit of encouragement that having you show up and my house is kind of chaotic is okay. It's all right to one be vulnerable and share your thoughts with somebody like this, and it's okay to ask to be validated. It's okay to be like, I need you to tell me it's okay to come for coffee when my house is a mess. Asking to be validated is a healthy thing when it is for something that is going to help you learn how to kind of like reprogram your mind. Like, do we need to be validated in every single situation of our life? Well, no. Like, that's where we know we do need to do a lot of, self-healing and emotional work and stuff like that. But when we're trying to overcome a struggle of where we feel like someone's judging us, and if 95% of the time we're making that up ourselves, that's when asking that other person to validate you and being like, you don't mind that my house is messy, right? And they're gonna be like, no, I came over to talk with you. I came over to see the grandkids. I don't care how messy the house is. I remember when I was a mom and da 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 da. And she'll probably go off on a wonderful story how she struggled with that too. It's really important to take the time to sit and process this, because until you do, you're going to forever be sabotaging those moments you do get. And that is going to stop your progress. And that's not fun. That's not, I'm here to show you how to move forward and how to make the changes in your life, and this is going to be necessary. Now, let's say you actually get the opportunity to load up and go ride with some friends, go to a barrel race, go to some, like fun jackpot night or whatever, and then all of a sudden, again, you're talking yourself out of it. Now, chances are your feelings around this are going to be a lot different. They're going to be like, well, I gained 10 pounds since the last time I was out in public with these people. What are they going to say? My horse, he's fat, he's out of shape. Or I haven't practiced the barrel pattern in 6 months, so I don't know what my horse is going to be. My horse is young, he's going to spook. What if he bucks, like what if he freaks out and bucks me off? Like all of that stuff, it's just negative energy trying to sabotage you. And doing your affirmations and realizing that fear of judgment, fear of being left out, whatever that looks like to you, feel a failure, or people going to think you're a failure because your horse isn't up to par or something ridiculous like that. Don't let that stop you, and don't let that hold you back. I understand how hard of a struggle it is to be on this path with you and your horse, and you want to go to an arena and you feel like people are going to be judging you for what you're doing. I still deal with this, okay? So what I'm doing with my horse is not, it's not something that's commonly done. I take a lot smaller steps. I work a lot slower. My connection with my horse is the number one priority. And I have, and still do if I am not careful enough, worry about, well, what's so-and-so going to think when they see me, doing all this groundwork instead of just jumping on and going for this ride. But it was actually the most empowering thing that I've done lately, was literally just have fun with it and do it anyway. So I took my horse to the arena. I I rode him around in the small arena while a roping practice was going on in the large one. And I rode him in there. I did groundwork first until he relaxed. Then I rode him in there until he relaxed. And then I led him to the big arena, and he immediately just got all excited and uppity. And so I took him to the farthest end of the arena away from all of the action, and I did groundwork there. I didn't just jump on and just assume everything was going to be fine and dandy. I wanted to respect what I knew my horse could handle, and I know he is much more receptive of me and allows me to help him calm down when I'm on the ground. So I did groundwork in the farthest end of the arena around all these rough, tough cowboys and cowgirls doing all this roping. And then when he finally started to calm down and they're letting the steers go as they let the wraps off, I started chasing the steers on foot with my reins in my hand, with Ace trotting beside me, chasing these steers down the arena. I probably looked like a complete ninny, but it was so much fun. It was amazing to watch Ace, how he was kind of like dragging behind me as I'm like trying to run after these steers. And then he was like, we're chasing these things? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, oh, okay. And he'd get really excited. And he had a lot of fun. Like pretty soon he'd see the steer coming up and he would start, like I'd just bring up my energy and he'd start trotting right beside me so we could chase the steer into the run back pen. And it was so much fun. And then I was able to get on and we were able to ride and it was great. But the thing is I had to let go of that thought in my head of what are people going to think? Are they going to think I'm some wacko? Are they think I'm babying my horse? Are they think just get on and get it over with? You know? But that doesn't matter because I know my horse, I know myself, and I know what I want for our partnership and our connection. And I'm not about to let somebody else ruin that. Just like my parenting might not be the same as everybody else's. I'm not going to change how I parent based on how someone looks at me or some comment that they said. I'm going to be like, well, thanks for the input. I appreciate your opinion. Well, thank you. I'll give that a thought, but I think I'm going to keep trying this for a little bit longer. Thanks. It doesn't need to be a big competition on whose method is right. But it's really important to try to work our way through that mindset of worrying about the judgment, being left out, all of that stuff. All that is going to do is it's going to keep you stuck. It's going to prevent forward motion and getting better and creating a better relationship with your horse. And so it's really important to make sure you keep that in mind. All right? I hope you have a great day and we'll chat with you later.